Hi, Mom.
You were supposed to be here to help hours ago.
I know, I'm sorry. My shift ran late and I wanted to sleep in.
Yeah, I would have liked to sleep in too, but I take care of my responsibilities.
Maybe you should go back to bed.
How far out are you?
I'm like 5 minutes away.
Okay, love you. Joe, quit trying to sneak food. I can see you.
I really loved this piece. There's felt like a really nice, authentic drive through the entire thing. Very relatable content of the going home and what you can reveal, what is accepted and what is not accepted. Um, and then ultimately, the idea of chosen family. The friend that comes over after is the one that gets to share in the successes. And there's that comfortability and that honesty where they can talk freely about their life and share those moments, the highs and the lows. And I really thought the acting was so grounded and honest. And I thought there's a really nice dynamic within the family that was very playful and believable. And I think we need to see more films about people winning ultimately. And I thought it was a really nice, surprising ending without a cynical view to it whatsoever.
Very grounded in realistic feel that I thought worked well in matching the themes of the piece of trying to find yourself as a person, as an artist, as someone whose identity is shifting or isn't quite in line with societal expectations, both writ large and within your own family structure. And I thought the piece, the main performer of the piece, was really great in sort of carrying those range of dynamics, both with her silence and with her dialogue. And I thought that the ending construct with her, I believe, friend, worked quite well in sort of capturing the emotional dynamic of the piece that I thought was the big picture feel. And I thought a lot of the thematic ideas were reflected in their closing conversation in a way that I thought provided a good sense of closure and emotional core to the piece that I felt was effective.
Just portrays her absolute disdain of being home incredibly well based on how she reacts to the phone call from her mom and the way her mood changed after hanging up with her mom. Like, it was just so beautifully executed within the first minute or so. It also continues when she gets there and she throws the paper away, because you'll see later that her mom loves reading the paper, it seems like. So she threw that away automatically. And I thought that was a really cool detail. Overall, I really enjoyed the family dynamic, and I liked how you saw the dichotomy between her relationship with her father and her relationship with her mother, and how it's obvious that the one with her mother is really strained, but at the same time, even her father doesn't truly understand her, and she's gonna have to come to terms with the fact that her parents don't really get her and don't 100% support her writing career, or at least her mother. And then I really liked how, she's forced to interact with him because it's a family gathering. And you still kind of see that even when they try to be a family, it's obvious that there is such a disconnect and they are never all on the same page. And it's just so upsetting to see, and honestly so real, because a lot of people go through that. A lot of people go through parents not being 100% behind them in their dreams and their aspirations. So I just loved the whole irony of the entire situation, and it was truly satisfying. And I think the main actress did a very good job, and I thought she was great. And cinematography was wonderful. I think the way it was cut, I think the way that it was shot definitely helped the momentum of the story.
She's finally made it. She's entered her era of success, yet she still can't share this with her family. You see the way that they interact with her, whether it's giving her some cash on the side, having the conversation over a dinner table. Like, all of these things are sort of stereotypical instances that artists often have to endure and go through when it comes to their to success. So when she's finally made it, there's this sense of shame almost, but it's a really great opportunity to finally achieve this. And I find it so interesting that this character has made this choice to kind of uh, keep this moment for herself, which I think is kind of even more powerful to not let the idea of others make an impact on your choices sometimes. And that's a tough decision that we have to make as artists sometimes. And to be able to keep it to yourself is, I think, is kind of incredible in its own doing.
I thought there was like a really nice line that they kind of straddled between loving your family and wanting to be a part of your family and wanting to, still have a relationship with your parents and still kind of be like an active member of your family. But at the same time, when your family's not necessarily supportive or they don't necessarily have a lot of faith in what you do or what you want to do, there can be these like really big, things to kind of overcome in your relationship, and the trust can be broken, and the desire to want to share your successes isn't necessarily there anymore. It's a hard line to straddle, and I think they did a really good job with illustrating that and showing that. So that's what I took away from it as just in a general sense. But also, it just kind of highlights again that you can, want or have an idea of what you think is better for people in your life, whether they're your kids or they're your friends or, whatever the relationship is. You can have your own idea of what you think they would be doing at their happiest, but that isn't always real life. And that I think true unconditional love is finding a way to support them and be happy, even if you're worried about them, even if you think that they're making a mistake, even if you think that they're taking a risk, or if you think that, maybe something won't work out. I think that, true unconditional love is the ability to do that, to have all of that while still supporting them and making them feel like you're in their corner.
Very nice camera work and editing. In particular, I liked the scene on the porch between the two girls. I like that a lot. I like the writing. I like that there wasn't really any music except in the car. And to me, this is a statement on how, family support or not support as far as your creative career. Any career you probably choose as a child doesn't feel good enough for the parents, but especially a creative career, they just assume you're struggling and hungry, not really listening to what you say. Maybe that's also sort of the Jewish community. I just feel like a lot of parents, are very vocal, but not really listening to what their kid says. And just, being able to be yourself. It felt like definitely it's harder to do that in this family dynamic than out, talking to your friend. I liked this. I feel like it's a great short, and it focuses on, it's not necessarily focusing on her sexuality. It includes her many different things. I think the family support is what I feel like it focuses on, and how especially an older generation doesn't really have the same views as a younger generation. And
kind of that generational shift between parents and their children. Even when you think you're well-meaning, that being in the sense that I think two of the most fascinating lenses to look at this from is the lens of the mother and the lens of the father. The lens of the mother is kind of your very transparent judgment, in the sense that the mother is very critical of the daughter's life choices. But then the father was also very interesting in the sense that he felt more like that subtle judgment, where at face value, like when you look at it from a passing glance, it looks supportive. It looks very like he has the daughter's best interest in heart. But at the same time, even those acts of kindness can sometimes come off very condescending or patronizing. And the ironic twist at the end is that she's not even doing that bad, but the issue is that she doesn't want to tell her parents because they've been so critical and condescending of her choices. She never felt that they were supportive of what she did to begin with. And I found that to be very interesting, where from a parent's lens, you can be so protective to the point that you essentially become an obstacle in your child's dreams and ambitions.